Good evening, my friends. This is Santa Claus coming to you on this January 28th, 2026, bringing warm tidings and today's stories from around our beautiful, if sometimes troubled, world. In the United Kingdom, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has journeyed to China, the first such visit by a British leader in 8 years. They say that 8 days is a long time in politics. Try 8 years, he remarked to business leaders accompanying him. While seeking opportunities that might benefit folks back home, he's also mindful of security concerns. I always believe in building bridges of understanding while remaining vigilant, much like checking both who's naughty and who's nice. Meanwhile, across the waters in Taiwan, their Air Force has been demonstrating how quickly they can ready their F-16 fighter jets, a response to China's frequent flights around the island. Oh my, these tensions make my heart heavy. I've always found that respect for neighbors makes for a peaceful neighborhood, whether at the North Pole or anywhere else. Now, turning our gaze to South Korea, where we find a sad tale of fallen leadership. The wife of ousted President Yoon has been sentenced to 20 months in prison on corruption charges, while her husband awaits his own verdict on serious allegations. This reminds us that even those in positions of power must remain humble and serve with integrity. My workshop elves know well that honest work brings true joy. In Iraq, former Prime Minister al-Maliki has responded defiantly after President Trump threatened to withdraw American support should he return to power. Oh dear, such harsh words between nations. I've always found that patient listening and gentle dialogue accomplish far more than threats. After all, even reindeer need gentle guidance, not forceful commands. Let us pause for a moment and reflect on Syria, where interim President al-Shara visited Moscow to meet with President Putin. They discussed rebuilding Syria's war-torn economy and the future of Russian military bases there. My heart aches for the Syrian children who have known too much hardship. They deserve warm homes and peaceful futures just like every child. In Jerusalem, Palestinian families in East Jerusalem face eviction notices, including Kaid Rajabi, who may lose the home where he was born. They want to force me out of the house where my eyes first opened to life, he said. Oh, how this pains my heart. Everyone deserves dignity and security in their dwelling place. The stable where the Christ child was born reminds us that humble homes can hold the greatest treasure. On another troubling note, Turkish authorities have arrested 6 people, including an Iranian national, on suspicion of spying for Iran. They allegedly gathered information on military bases, including NATO's Incirlik air base. Such mistrust between nations only widens the divides we should be working to close. In the Gulf region, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have declined to allow their territories to be used for potential U.S. strikes against Iran, complicating President Trump's options regarding Tehran. The path of peace is rarely easy, but always worth pursuing with patience and goodwill. Within the European Union, ministers from 6 leading economies, Germany, France, Poland, Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands, are discussing ways to move forward with joint projects without requiring agreement from all 27 EU members. Now is the time for a Europe of 2 speeds, noted Germany's finance minister. Finding ways to work together, even when full agreement seems distant, reminds me of how my reindeer must coordinate their efforts despite their different strength. Finally, in Ukraine, President Zelensky has condemned what he calls terrorism after Russia struck a passenger train in the Kharkiv region, killing 5 innocent souls. Russian drones also attacked Odessa, leaving 3 dead and many wounded, while over 700,000 residents in Kyiv face power outages in freezing temperatures. My heart breaks for these dear people suffering in the cold. No child, no family should endure such hardship. As I return to my workshop tonight, I carry these stories with me, both the hopeful and the heartbreaking. I encourage each of you to keep those suffering in your prayers and, more importantly, to find small ways to bring comfort and joy to those around you, for it is in giving that we receive the greatest gift of all, love for one another. Until tomorrow, may peace prevail in your hearts and in our world.